Hi, it's Cheryl. Welcome to Home Rich Studio. For today's video, I have 3 vintage Halloween crafts to share with you. So let's waste no time and go make something. Okay, number 1. Here's how I made this piece. This is from the Dollar Tree. And we're going to make that double-sided because I like that side, and it also matches this material. This material piece my daughter gave me. I have seen it before on Amazon though. I think she just went and got it from the material store, probably Joann Fabrics, before they went out of business. I have some sandstone chalk paint, and I have a bow, and I actually make a different bow. So I'm just going to start by removing the sticker on the back because this is going to be two-sided, and there was some goopy stuff still on there from the sticker, so I just took Goo Gone and just a little cotton ball, and then just removed the glue. Then I wiped it down with soap and water real quick, let that dry, and now I'm just painting it with one good coat of sandstone. Now I have Waverly Truffle chalk paint, and I'm painting the stem there. And then I did go around the edges. I did not show you this, but I went around the edges with the truffle just to kind of distress it. And then now I'm kind of running it across this whole thing just to make it look a little bit more vintage and worn. And these are baby wipes that I'm using to do this. And that's what it looks like. Now I'm going to cut out my material. I only had this little teeny piece that she gave me. She was going to throw it out. She said, "Do you want this?" And I said, "Yeah, you don't throw anything out like that. I can use that." I've had it for like 3 or 4 years, and I'm finally using it. So anyway, after the paint was dry, I cut out the material, and then now I'm putting Mod Podge on top of that. And then when the Mod Podge is dry, then I put the material on top of that, and I'm just going to heat press it right into the little pumpkin piece here. And now I have all this extra material that I wanted to kind of fray the edges, but it wouldn't tear or rip for me, so I'm just cutting it. So with all this extra material here that I really can't use for anything, I'm just going to make just a sloppy bow, a messy bow. So I cut out a bunch of just strips from that, and I'm just going to put them together just like this. No rhyme or reason. I'm just placing them on top, crisscrossing them. And then I take a piece of jute. I should have put the jute down first because it was hard to pick up the material like that. So I'm going to wrestle with that a little bit, but it all worked out fine. And then I just double knotted that, and I liked the jute in there so much that I left it, and I just trimmed off the edges, and I actually tied another piece of jute in there because I loved the look of it. And that's just a good example of something that wasn't meant to be, but then I was kind of like, oh, I really like that. So, you know, just give yourself some authority to be creative and just go with it. And that's kind of what I was doing with these pieces. So I just glued it on, and then I popped a bow on there. Easy peasy. It's done, and now it's double-sided, and both sides match too. Oh yeah, and I did roughen up the edges a little bit with the sander here. I did the stem and then the sides as well, just to make it look a little bit more worn and vintage. And here's how it turned out. I think this is so super cute. I love this picture. That pumpkin looks like it kind of has like blood coming out of its mouth. It doesn't, I swear. I looked at it twice. It's actually the shadow, or I probably wouldn't have used that at all because I don't like that kind of stuff. But anyway, I do think it turned out super cute. Okay, and here is number 2. And this is a wall hanger, and I have this from the paper source. And then I have the paint, pumpkin and ink Waverly chalk paint, but I want to show you this. I walked into this store a couple weeks ago with my daughters. We were shopping and they wanted to go into the paper source, and I'm like, no, I don't want to go in there. They're so expensive. And then I saw this and I was like, it's just gift wrap. If you've ever been to that store, they have a whole huge wall of tons and tons of gift wrap. So I bought a few different pieces and I have this one. And I'm just pointing out all the different things on here. There's bats and owls and jack-o'-lanterns and yeah, all kinds of good stuff that you can use. So I have the ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and I have this piece, this board from the Dollar Tree. And yeah, what would have been $125? Let's take a peek. Oh yeah, it was $125. Now it's $1.50, but that's okay. I still think it's a deal. So yeah, I got that. So this paper is gift wrap paper, by the way, from the Paper Source. And it's just hanging on a wall, like folded over a roll with a ton of different paper. You might not be able to get this now. I know it's late, but they'll probably have Christmas wrapping paper. So you might want to check that out, and you can go online too as well. And it was, I think it was like $7, $8, or $9, maybe even $10, something like that. But there's a lot going on there. I know it was kind of pricey, but I thought it was just unique and different. Anyway, I'm babbling. So as you can see, I'm just scoring this and I'm pulling up all the paper that I can, and I'm wetting it. I have a spritzer bottle there. I'm wetting it, and this took way too much longer. I think I worked on this for a half hour. So that was stuck on there, and I put a lot of elbow grease into removing it, but I got it all done. I really like the board. And then I painted it after I got all the glue off of it and everything. Then I painted it in the orange pumpkin. And then now I have the black ink, and I'm just going to edge out the whole entire piece here. And a big thank you to all of my subscribers and a warm welcome to everyone. And if you're not subscribed, welcome to Homeward Studio. I do budget friendly decor. I do family decor too, I guess. I don't know, seasonal decor, thrift flips, and so much more. And if you like that kind of stuff, come join my Homeward Studio family by tapping the subscribe button, the bell notification, and all, and you will be notified every time I post a new video, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. So now, after I'm done with all that, I take a paintbrush and I put, you don't want it super wet, but the black paint here, but you can't have it thick either, because I'm just tapping it and it's sprinkling little, sprinkles, droplets of the black paint everywhere. And I'm showing you up close. And be careful with this. If you do this, don't wear white. I had the sprinkles all over my arms. I hit it on my Fitbit there. It was everywhere. Make sure you cover and protect whatever surface that you're working on. But it washed off. I got it off right away. But yeah, it was kind of messy. And I've done this before, so I don't know. I should know better, but whatever. So anyway, I don't know why. I'm going to wrap the top with that ribbon. I don't know why I didn't continue to do that, and I stopped and went in another direction. But I have my fancy schmancy scissors here, and I cut out Trick or Treat, and they're just they're paper edge scissors. That's what they are, and I wanted it to look a little bit more Halloween-ish, so I cut that out. Oh, I think I probably did that before I put the ribbon down, because I wanted to see how far down I was going to put that. So yeah, I just measured the ribbon, cut it out, and then now I'm just going to glue it onto the back, the front and the back. And I kind of like wrapped it in like you would wrap a present. And then I still did glue that down, but as you can see, there's a problem with the hanger. So after I glued it, I thought maybe it would hold, but it didn't. So it just kept pulling up the ribbon. So I just cut 2 slits in the back where the hanger is, and it worked fine. And then just glued that back down. And so now I'm just going to take my handy dandy glue stick and just glue these pieces right on here. Super easy. Did the same thing with the big pumpkin. And then I took my brayer and I just rolled it out. Pushed all that glue down there really well. And I have no idea right now what I'm doing on a screen. I'm sorry about that. I thought I had, oh, I see. I have these little bats here that I cut out of that paper as well. And I have a glue stick and I'm putting glue on them and they're sticking everywhere. I have glue all over my fingers and yeah. I'm a little messy crafter sometimes, I'll tell you. But I have fun. So yeah, so I just glued those on, and now I took that little piece off there earlier, the little tassel, and now I'm just gluing that back on. And that was it. Very easy, and I think this turned out super cute. This paper is great, and I should probably go pretty soon because I'm excited to see what kind of Christmas paper they have. And I'm not really into the Paper Source stuff like that, but when I went in there, I was like, wow, it just opened up a whole new world for me that I really kind of ignored. So yeah, check out that store. The prices are a little high, I do have to say, but sometimes they have cool things like this. Okay, number 3, and this is our last one. And again, I just used the paper. So I picked this up from the thrift store, and it's 99 cents. And it even has a little hook on the back there. This is a wood piece too. And I always pick these little things up if they're like $1 because you can do so much with them. You could put a Santa Claus on here. You can put an Easter bunny on there. There's so much you can do for a cute little shelf sitter or a little gift for somebody. So I showed you I cut that pumpkin out with my fancy schmancy scissors, and then I have Mod Podge, I have black paint in the color ink, and that's chalk paint, and then I have that folk art acrylic paint. It's called Daybreak. So I'm going to do kind of a little scratchy looking sign here. I just wanted to try something new and it worked. So I don't know, I had this idea that popped in my head. I'm going to show you how I did it. So I wanted to get rid of the words on there, and I just painted one coat of the black on there. And now I have some cardboard, and I wanted to take my fancy schmancy scissors, my paper edging scissors, and cut something out, but the cardboard was these aren't like really heavy duty. I just got them from Ross. Excuse me, I'm all jumbled up. They are for paper, not for cardboard. So I took a little piece of cardboard here. You can see it was just on a package, and then I cut that. Now, setting that aside for a second, I put my Daybreak acrylic paint on here. I probably put a little bit too much. And I didn't cover the whole thing. And then now I'm taking that and I'm like moving it across the board, like I'm scratching that paint off. I want to see it look like it's scratched off. And so I wanted to see the black paint below it. And I'm really happy with the way this turned out. So obviously your black paint needs to be dried. Then you put your yellow paint on, you scratch it off like that, and then that needs to be very, very dry too. Then I put a coat of Mod Podge on here, and that also needs to dry as well. And I just took my blow dryer in between each section that I did, and it worked really easy, and it didn't take very long. Talking too much, I'm losing my voice, you guys. Anyway, the Mod Podge is dried, and now I am just heat pressing it on with the parchment paper between that protects your board and your iron. And then now I just wanted to roughen up the edges a little bit and the corners and make it look very vintage and very worn. And I don't know where I got this ribbon from. Probably, I would say Michael's. Looks kind of like Michael's. I try to get my ribbon at the end of each year, when it's on sale. And so I just made a simple little bow, and then I am just cutting the sides or the bottom off. I'm on an angle And then as you can see, I left this in. Look at how much of a perfectionist I am. Oh, I have to find the perfect button. Yep, I'll go through the whole container just for that perfect button. Like, who cares? Just slap a button on there. But no, I found the perfect button and I just glued it on there. And yeah, I just had to share that with you because you know what? That's me. Always trying to find the perfect thing. So, yeah, I think this turned out really cute. So you're going to have to let me know which one is your favorite. 1, 2, or 3. And here is the whole shebang. And that's all I have for you today. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And you know I will be back real soon. And until then, have a blessed week. Bye.